Eternal Father, Father, bless our land. I pray you guide us with your mighty hand. Pray you keep us and protect us, lead us into brighter days.
Remember this here one thing. After rain, sun a fi shine. We build for pressure, born for climb. We bend but we nah broke every single time. The storm come rough, me nah deny. Roof fly away, dream fly high. Whole heap of people lose them base, but faith still strong in our face. Jamaica tough, heart heavy, yes. But we spirit not dead, it just take rest. From nothing we build back step by step. We hands still strong, we soul still blessed. So when you look on the rubble, remember, we not done, we just rebuild double. Jamaica can't done, never that. We rise up.
Eternal Father, Father, bless our land. I pray you guide us with your mighty hand. Pray you keep us and protect us, lead us into brighter days.
Hi, Dr. Adams. How are you?
I'm good. How are you
I am
doing?
well. Can you believe we're already at week 5?
I-
We've come this far, and we continue this journey. So tonight, I want to use this time to welcome everyone to week 5 of our sessions, Restoring Hope, Jamaica's Healing Circle. Whether you are with us for the first time, or this is your 5th session with us, please feel welcome. This space is to pretty much for us to heal together, reflect together, and to rebuild. So over the past 4 sessions, we have walked through the emotional aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, the weight of loss, the resilience of our communities, and the spiritual and cultural foundations that keep us grounded. And so tonight, what we're going to do, we are going to gather with one purpose, and that is to reclaim identity, rebuild dignity, and remind ourselves and each other that healing is not a destination, but a journey. And together, we are taking each step. What we're going together and taking each step, one step at a time. So this is a courageous community, and your presence today, it really means that you've chosen hope. And so we're grateful that you are here with us tonight. Dr. Adams, would you want to go into a grounding activity to get us started off? Thank you
Sure.
so much.
No, yeah, man, of course. Night, everybody. So I know we're all coming from different places. Some of us might even still be in the car, fighting traffic, just come home, might be dealing with children. There's a lot going on, maybe in your background. So before we begin and dive into our goals for tonight, I just want everybody to just take a moment to arrive mentally. You might not feel calm. There might be a whole lot of things going on right now. You don't have to feel even positive in this moment. I just want you to be present. So by doing that, if you're able, as long as you're not driving, let's start with like putting our feet on the floor. And as you're putting your feet on the floor, I want you to notice where your body is supported. Like for me, I have some pillows on my back right now, having some lower back aches, but how is your body feeling supported right now? Slowing everything down, slowing our nervous system down. And now I want you to take a slow breath in through your nose for 4, and then we're going to exhale for 6. I can't count because I'm going to be breathing, but I'll be using my fingers, all right? But in for 4 and out for 6. I want that exhale to be way slower than your inhale, all right? We're going to do that 3 times. All right. In for 4, Out for 6. I know 6 is long, but try it. Let's try it again. In for 4 and out for 6. One more time. In for 4 and out for 6. I want you to just silently notice one thing you can feel right now. What can you feel? I know I said silently, but just to guide you guys, can you feel? Do you feel the clothes on your skin? Do you feel whatever it is you're sitting on? Do you feel the floor beneath your feet? Do you feel the air? Is it hot? Is it cold where you are? So I just want you to feel. And as you're becoming present, I want you to say this to yourself. Okay. I want you to say, I am safe.
I'm safe.
I am safe enough for this moment.
I am
Safe
safe
enough.
enough for this moment.
And repeat that as many times as you need to. And note that while we're here, right, we're not here to fix anything. We're not here to perform anything. We're not here. We're just here to be present, to feel safe. And like Dr. Gordon said, we're going to be reclaiming our dignity, our identity. We're going to honor the progress that we've made while still holding space for all the things that have been happening. And then when you're ready and you feel like you have some sense of calm, you can just bring yourself back and we're going to get started.
Beautiful. Thank you for that, Dr. Adams. Definitely, I can feel my body being present. I'm more calm and fully ready for tonight. And so, as we go to the first objective for tonight, it's
Night, Mr. Thorpe. Sorry, I just started popping. Hey.
Hi,
Mr.
Mr.
Thorpe.
Adams. Hi, is that
So,
Dr. Zadu? How you doing?
so we have Mr. Thorpe with us, who is a college counselor. And Mr. Thorpe is going to be sharing with us on some of these objectives that we have tonight. So the first share that he's going to start us off on is
You said that.
You're hot suddenly, aren't you?
get to work as soon as you come in. We just get going. We are just getting to it.
You're a professor. It's okay. You ready? You're ready for spotlight.
Yes.
We are looking at reclaiming identity, and I can talk a little bit about it. Reclaiming identity, dignity, and cultural strength. So, what is a key message from this that I want us to really own into or, hold on to? Is that our identity is not determined by what we lose. It reveals how much we rise. So our identity is not determined by what we lose. It is revealed by how we rise. And so people have lost in our ancestry, in our history. There are many people who've experienced so much loss. And guess what? They rise. Like Maya Angelou would say, like dust, I rise. And so our ancestors have risen, even though they have been through so much, struggles and have experienced so much loss, yet still they rise. And we're going to just go over some of our ancestors a little bit, and what they've lost and how they reclaimed their identity, being resilient and how they just, were able to defeat and be successful. And I want to take us all the way back to when our true ancestors, our indigenous ancestors, the Tainos, who faced catastrophic loss due to the colonization and all of that stuff. But those survivors or ancestors rebuilt, you know, practices in hidden ways that still live in Jamaica today. Or food that we eat, the language, the techniques, spirituality, all of that. They've been through it, but they still made a way through. We move on to the Maroons. We all know Queen Nanny of the Maroons, who led resistance after massive loss, rebuilt sovereignty in the Blue Mountains, and national hero. So Queen Nanny has been through struggles, but Nanny never once gave up because she understood that her identity was about how she would rise from the situation. It wasn't about the struggle at the moment. It wasn't that didn't define her. What defined her is her resilience and how she would rise no matter what happened. And we move on to our national heroes, which we all know so well, including Nani the heroine. We know Paul Bogle, who has experienced poverty and loss too and injustice. But hey, he fought and he did rise. He led the Morant Bay rebellion, and he contributed to our culture and society so much. So what I'm saying is that in our veins, we have resilience because our people who have been through so much, they overcome, they did what they could, and they did rise. So we can rise no matter what, how tough we think the struggle is right now. People have been through greater struggles in our history, and yet still they rise. And if we're to look at hurricanes that has happened and the history of hurricanes and hurricane survivors through Jamaican history, we would think about the 1903 Kingston hurricane. We would talk about Hurricane Charlie in 1951, Hurricane Gilbert in 1988, Hurricane Ivan in 2004, Hurricane Sandy through 2012. Those hurricanes were catastrophic. And guess what? These or people during those times and who have gone through these current ones were able to rebuild homes, churches, schools, farm, and the economy in general after that devastation. So saying all of that to say that we have resilience in our blood. And so as Mr. Tharp is going to take us more through reclaiming our identity, I wanted us to start off on that, remembering that in our blood, through our ancestors, we are resilient, strong people who
Yes, we are.
still get through, tough times.
Okay.
What you have to add on that or talk about, Mr. Tharp?
Just piggybacking on what you just said, one of the constructs or psychological constructs that I have been really kind of, what should I say, articulating in this time is, especially when it comes to the whole concept of identity, is this idea called anti-fragility. And I think it encapsulates our identity as a Jamaican people. It really means, especially in the context of your what you're trying to bring forth tonight, it focuses primarily on how we get stronger. Because resilience is bouncing back to what is normal. Jamaica is not really going to be normal. This hurricane has come, it has impacted us, it has challenged us to the core. And as someone on the ground, one of the things I've realized is that we have to look, how is this going to make us stronger as a people?
Yes.
And just expanding the narrative. of what you just say. So when we look at this whole concept of anti-fragility, it points, it validates first and foremost, which is what I like about it. It validates the humanity, or humanity as Jamaicans. It validates who we are at our core. And that's very important in this process, because it's human nature for us to kind of rush things, try to get things routine, try to tell people they'll be stronger, but hey, my house gone. So we have to recognize, we have to validate, and that fans into flame psychological safety. That builds connection. That builds empathy and compassion. And those are the foundation principles that build community. And I think this storm has really kind of brought us back to basic. I think a lot of times we maybe we're too caught up in ourselves, and we kind of was losing our, what should I say, our that community collectivistic identity that we had. And I think this unfortunate incident has really been emerging a type of strength that really symbolizes who we are as Jamaican. And I think it really captures our motto, out of many, one people. And so that diversity. And when I was studying psychology at University of Rompton in London, one of the things that really amazed me about Jamaicans is despite all of these nations that have just passed through this country, our identity, the identity that rose up is so distinct, it's so unique, a Jamaican anywhere. And so even though we have been forged through the fire, we have gone through all of this colonization, nations have passed through, but yet the Jamaican identity has been so strong. And globally, it has become like a brand on the consciousness of so many nations, that this little island, this little rock in the Caribbean has become such a force and an influence. So one of the things, psychology really helped me to appreciate is our history. And as you were touching some key points, one of the things, looking at, as you said, Sam Sharp, looking at these no-name heroes like George Lealey, Thomas Swiggle, looking at some of these hero ladies that I discovered while studying psychology, and recognizing that we have an identity. And one of the things we need to do is get back in tune with what that identity is, that we're building on giants, and that our heroes, they have words of life that we may need to latch on right to know. And just remembering who we are and where we came from and how we have evolved as a people. So I'm for this anti-fragility thing, because sometimes toxic positivity, sometimes people, to the goodness of their heart, they're not recognizing that you can't just throw all this positivity in meshes, because people are broken. And we have to give validation to the loss, because a lot of them might not recognize that their identity is not wrapped up in the material things, which maybe has really brought home to us as we have lost a lot. So we need to validate their loss. And things like disfranchised grief, a lot of people may feel that they don't need to grieve because they have life. We have to be very mindful of these kind of things and how we approach people and their loss, because there have been great loss. Yes, they have life, but there have been great loss. And we need to validate that and really help people come alongside our people and build systems that will help them to thrive. Because what's going to happen if we don't have this mindset of anti-fragility, people are going to develop what is coined as learned helplessness, and that psychological state. So where they, because of the stressful situation that has happened because of the hurricane, they have this sense of hopelessness and helplessness. It's not a state of their inability, you know, because you can bring the resources there, but they will not know what to do with it because of the kind of learned helplessness that has come. So we need to remind them of the heroes we're standing on. We need to say these narrative therapy comes in here right now, you know, reauthorizing the story. I know that in the media, and everybody's saying this disaster and this disaster is this, but we have the power to reauthorize that, our own identity in this time. It's an opportunity for us to shine. It's an opportunity for us to say who we are as Jamaicans. And it's an opportunity for us to let the world know that Jamaica really is built upon certain principles that causes us to be who we are today. Yeah.
Nice.
I hope that, yes.
Wow, profound. Yes, that is, you touched some important points that, I'm going to just touch briefly or maybe ask you to, get into a little bit more. Dr.
All
Adams
right.
can add to that a little bit before I kind of just put it all together. But you talk about the anti-fragility piece, and I feel that is important. And to break that down a little bit for everyone, anti-fragility is pretty much where, because of what has happened and people are
Yes.
experiencing stress and brokenness and all of that, you're able to use that experience that has happened and all that comes with it to build from that. So you build that into being stronger and more capable and just
Yeah.
bounce back pretty much. So that's what
That's who
we
we
are.
are. That's who
Yes,
we
that's
are.
who we are. Brilliant
Yeah.
people.
Yes.
And when Dr. Tharp talk about soon,
Ah,
Dr. Tharp soon.
I'm on my way.
Yeah.
I'm
When
on
we
my
talk
way.
about the narrative therapy, I love that. Narrative therapy is where now we use stories from the ancestors I talked about earlier, how
Yeah.
they used, with whatever was going on, they were able to be resilient and they succeeded. We can use those stories as the basis on which we can overcome and get to over our tough times. Not saying it's easy, not saying it's just tomorrow we get up and it fixed, but it starts from having that mindset. And if we go all the way back to when we do a few sessions some weeks ago and we talk about how stress affects the body,
Yeah.
we want to get into that anti-fragility mindset to
Yeah.
move away from having those cortisols in our body causing us to have all sorts of ailments or don't feeling depression, all of that. Dr. Adams, over to you.
I feel like I'm on the news. Over to
Yeah.
you. I love that you both started like that because often we hear the term intergenerational trauma a lot, but we don't really hear the term intergenerational resilience because it's the
Yes.
same, right? Like if one is flowing through, then the other is also flowing through. So I love that you started out with, reminding us of like our cultural strengths and the heroes and heroines that we are standing on, their shoulders that we're standing on. And the anti-fragility piece for anybody who's listening, I love that this for us is like a reframe. Like trauma it is,
Yeah.
and let's be clear, it is again it's overwhelming our body's capacity to cope with what's going on, right? It is devastating. There are terrible things that have happened. But we can use trauma to grow, and that is or in anti-fragility, using that as a catalyst for growth. So I think when you're ready, when you've made it to that point in, there are different stages of grief, and anybody who's on this call watching live, you might be in different stages. You still might be in, I can't believe this happened. Some of us might be in, okay, this has happened. I'm starting, maybe I'm accepting it. Some of us might still be arguing, questioning why this happened to me. We're all in all different stages. But when you feel within yourself that the time is right, I would love to challenge you all with this mindset of anti-fragility to reframe what the trauma has been and continues to do, but using that, as we said, as a catalyst for growth and how we can rebuild. because from what I remember, right, it's slightly elevated against resilience. Like resilience is like you resist what has happened and you may be able to bounce back, but anti-fragility is not just the bouncing back, because the normal might not be what we know it as. But
Yeah.
anti-fragility is being even better, right? Like it actually helps us to be
Yeah.
better. So
Yes.
I think
Being
when you're
better.
in that stage, wherever you
Yeah.
are, I
Yes.
challenge you to try to reframe what's
Yes.
going on so that we can do better and build something even better than what was there before.
Awesome. 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 Well
Indeed.
framed.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yeah, it's building something better from this, and that just capsulates it wonderfully.
Wonderfully, yes.
Yeah.
And so, as we start the conversation about anti fragility, we want to talk about some of the steps to take to getting to that point, getting to resilience, and then taking to notch up to anti fragility. So, we're now going to talk a little bit about problem solving and advocacy skills for the recovery journey. And so, as we talk about the problem solving skills for the recovery journey, we want to look at breaking challenges into manageable steps. So, that's a very important first step that we want to take. Asking for support early, not after the burnout. I know
Yeah.
some of us, we think we are tough and we want to do it by ourselves. But I tell you that reaching out is okay. And when we reach out to people for help, that's totally fine. We are not, the saying, no man is a mountain, is an island. No man stands alone. Don't try to be an island. It's okay to reach out and ask for help. I know there are people who would be like, oh, I don't want no handout and all of that stuff. It's okay to get help and to ask for help. So we want in the problem solving state, we want to remember that we want to build routines that create stability.
Very
And
important.
last week we had Reverend McCoy, who is from the church, and we hear the church is providing resources. Even though they mentioned the church is in need of resources, still the church is a place that you can get some form of support from, emotional, spiritual support. So as we navigate the problem solving stage of getting into anti-fragility, we want to make sure that in our mind we are framing it where we are breaking challenges into manageable steps. Do you have anything to add to that, Mr. Thorpe, Dr. Adams?
Yeah, that's a very important principle right now to build
Mhm.
efficacy and agency. Um,
Yes.
right now, a lot of people self will is very fragile, and we definitely need to demonstrate that we have to build system to support them. And I think you're talking a little behavioral therapy there, like systematic desensitization. Yeah, so it's
Yes.
very important because we kind of have to fuse the the micro goals also with calming, learning those uh, using those psychological skills like deep breathing, kind of fusing them to help
Grounding.
them. Yeah,
Mhm.
or like grounding or what we did today,
Yes.
because we can't deny their physiological response. Some of them are very hypervigilant right now, they're on edge, and they have been to a trauma, and we have to acknowledge that. And so the micro goal is so important, because what is going to do for us, especially for somebody's identity, is that it's going to tell them that, hey, I can do this, because just giving them that micro goals. And it could be simple. Okay, let's organize put up the things that were destroyed. Let's put our little cabinet together. Let's try
Mhm.
and put our little awning on. Steps, those are steps we need to celebrate. Those are the steps, so we can cover what we can do to put a little roof over our head right now. Is
Yes.
it who we can contact, and building those bridges. Because once people start seeing those strengths we call the strength-based approaches. And they begin to make those little milestones. They can start taking bigger milestones and realize that, hey, the sun is shining brighter and brighter. So definitely those micro goals, building self-efficacy and agency is critical, and we can't deny them. As the Bible said, never despise the days of small beginnings. So it's very, very important that we take it slow, one step at a time, one step at a time.
By step.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that. I want to piggyback off of that because I think when we're asking people to advocate for themselves, advocacy, I think, is also tied to your concept of self at the time. And trauma tends to disrupt that because it takes away you feeling like you're in control, which we talked about in multiple sessions. It takes away agency. It takes away choice. It's disrupted a lot of your life. So I feel like for those who are listening again, I want you, similar to what Dr. Gordon talks about when we're remembering all our heroes and heroines, I want you also to remember who you are as well.
Ooh.
So you can say something, to the effects of like, even after everything that has happened, even after everything that I've lost, even despite the devastation, I am still somebody who worships God. I lean on my faith. I'm gonna keep going. I am still someone who can find the humor in a bad situation. They said Jamaicans love texting some joke.
Yes.
Like, I am still someone who will protect my family at all costs. Whatever it is that your trait is, I think you have to remind yourself of who you are. And you're gonna have to do that daily and probably multiple times a day. So continue to rebuild yourself, your concept of self. And as you continue to rebuild who you are, I think you will find the strength to advocate for the things that you need when you start talking about like, all right, what is one thing that I can do today? Or what is one thing that I need? Who can help me with that? Sometimes we might think, I need to go to my MP, or Andrew needs to come fix this. And it's like, all right, let's dial it down. Are there resources in my community? Are there churches? Kiwani's Club.
Yes.
My mother is a Kiwanian. In every.
Of course. I love it.
But are there private groups or whatever it is? Are there people, my neighbors? Maybe I have family, maybe I'm in Westmoreland, I have family in Kingston, but I don't want to bother them. I don't want to ask them nothing stuff. I don't want to burden them. I don't want to. No. What is one small step I could take? What is one small thing that I need? And who can help me? What would I ask? Because sometimes, we're like, yeah, I would have asked Mr. Thorpe for this, but I don't want to bother him because I know him have his own thing going on and what's happening for him. So I know he's dealing with it. And then we don't ask for what we need.
Right.
So I guess I would say continue to remind yourself of who your ancestors are. Remind yourself of who you are. And don't be afraid to advocate for what you need, but by starting with one small thing. And then that will snowball into other things that you need. And then celebrate that progress as you go.
Indeed. I love that. Advocacy, who you are. And I want to add to that as we advocate also, we want to remember that advocacy is not confrontational. Advocacy is self-care with a voice.
Assertiveness, yes.
Yeah. That assertiveness. So as we do it, as we advocate for the things we need, because I've seen a video as well. I think it was Kingston Kitchen or some kitchen that had created, cooked meals, warm meals and stuff, and, put it out there for people to have access. And one lady, she went and she got some food and she opened it and she was like, oh, what is them I can give people? And I just want to say that,
Jamaicans are colorful, that's all.
We're not going to mince any words. Like, it just is what it is.
It's going to come out.
Right. But I want to say that advocacy is not confrontation. Advocacy is self-care with a voice. So as we advocate, we want to advocate with our words and our voices in a very calm and clear way. We don't want to be, people are doing things and that's good, but they don't have to. We also have to remember that, when people are helping us, they're doing it out of their kind heart and goodwill. But we're not entitled. And so we have to be also grateful, when people are extending, and them extending themselves is really a good look. So we want to be kind for that.
And
Can I
We
add
also,
one thing
Mhm.
before you move on? I just want
Yes,
to, on the other side of that, because I do agree with you
yes,
in terms of being grateful. But I do think our prime minister said something a couple weeks ago when he switched over to the vouchers about us still serving with dignity and just like
yeah,
maintaining the dignity of people who are receiving. So if you're a giver, if you're somebody who is able to be generous in this season, or you're working alongside these organizations and doing all of these organized activities to, support post Melissa, remember that these are your countrymen that you're serving, like, and remember
yes,
to honor their dignity. Like,
definitely.
there are
Yeah.
some things that have been not so great that have been shared on social media, and I'm sure even
mhm,
worse if you're on the ground. And we just
Hmm.
have to remember that yes, we are. Lots of people have lost a lot of things, but we want to make sure that we hold their dignity intact as we serve them too.
yes. I love that. I
And
love. Mhm.
let's just tell everybody out there, Jamaicans love give, but please not tell anybody say you give them anything. Jamaicans will cuss you out. So let me
Yes,
just say it on the air here.
yes.
We
Everything will have to
love
be on
gifts,
social media. I
but
get that.
don't tell
Yes,
anybody you give them anything. All right,
yes.
I
Because
just warn you.
that's true. And we know Jamaicans, we are going to advocate for ourselves that way too. If
Yes,
you're
so
going to give us
please.
something, you have to let the entire world knows that this
They
is
will put in
from
your
you and all of
place.
that. The mindset is okay. We don't need that then.
Reverend McCoy said something like that though last week, because it's kind of Bible, right? Where
Yeah.
you're talking about
Mhm.
what you're doing. Not saying that we're not supposed to put things on social media, obviously,
Yes.
Uh-huh.
with assuming good intent and raising awareness
Yeah.
and all of that. So I'm not
Right.
anti social media, but I
No.
do think in terms of like kind of like what Mr. Thorpe said, yeah, man, I did go and I give this person unless I bring it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't do that. Don't
Right.
do
That's
that.
true.
Yeah.
So we want to
And
remember as we're going to
we
move
need to
on.
tell the
Yes.
world because they don't know. I've had
Yes.
people
Yeah.
who don't understand us, how we love gifts, but they wondered why the Jamaicans were operating when maybe they were telling other people. Because that might be another culture how they do it. But Jamaicans
Yes.
really, yes, they love gifts and stuff, but they don't appreciate you advertising that you gave
Yeah.
them something.
Right.
So we
That's
have to
true.
be
Yeah.
mindful. But I want to piggyback on Dr. Adams. When she
Hmm.
was speaking, what really forcefully came to me was Job.
Mm.
And Job said something, oh Lord, I don't even know if I could say it. But Job said something when all hell broke loose in his life. He was losing his family, he was losing his wealth, he was losing even his health. And he said, the Lord give and the Lord take it away. Yet I will still praise the Lord. And Dr. Adams was saying, you need to have your strength. What is the source of your
Mm.
identity?
Yes.
And Job tapped into that. And that was what that he was 10 times that anti-fragility, he was 10 times after that.
Oh,
And even when
yes.
his friends came, and yeah, you don't know them, I say, judgment pan Jamaica and what we do, make God send hurricane down, and they were doing all of these naysayers, and even our own people are saying God did this and God did that. And Job was just there, his very
Mm.
good friend. Still, even at the end, he had to pray for them. And, God was angry with them because they were trying to find something because they don't recognize what was really. Sometimes there are forces beyond us that is happening. And we have to find our source of our strength.
Mm.
Yes.
And that is where that anti-fragility is going to be coming from. Just like Job, he was 3 times more better, wealthy, his family, due to that horrific event. And just bringing out that kind of narrative in there as we are having this conversation.
That was good.
Wow. Find the source of your strength. And in doing so, too, for those of us who work, if you're working, a part of that self advocacy, too, is knowing when to ask for time from work or, take some time to just, heal by take time from school if you're a college student or, setting boundaries while you heal. That's also very important. So, just remember that advocacy is important. The next part that we want to look into is where we know where are we with
Celebrating, I think, is that it?
celebrating. Oh, we're at celebrating. Yes. So celebrating our progress and setting next steps. Now, what is one commitment you will carry into the next month of healing? That's where I want to start. As we think about celebrating progress and setting next steps, we want to think about one commitment that we will carry into next month of healing. So make commitments as we talk about the step by step. So when we plan those steps, it's very good because that allows us to celebrate small wins and victories. So frame commitments as small, realistic, sustainable actions. When we studied, when I was studying guidance and counseling many years ago, and
What's
we
I know in a long time now.
use
Can't make so old.
That's what
we used to use something with the students called SMART goals.
Yeah.
Saying having SMART,
Uh-huh.
goals. So as we set those goals or taking the steps one by one, we want to make sure that they're smart, specific. We want to make sure it's kind of measurable, attainable, realistic, and timed too. And that can be very helpful as we,
Those micro goals you mentioned.
yes, as we celebrate progress. What are your thoughts on that, Dr. Adams, Mr. Thorpe? Celebrating the progress.
I think you just having this circle. What name's I know again?
Healing circle.
circle.
This circle, yes.
I love us.
No, that's fine.
It's
Yes.
testimony
Yes.
of the micro goals because
Mhm.
you are building a safe place in cyberspace. You are building a platform
Yes.
to really to touch people. It's a
Mhm.
global space and you're connecting people. That's building the community. And
Yes.
you're taking micro steps and you are bringing that psycho education that is so needed right now. So
Yes. That's
so
true.
thumbs up to you for creating this kind of safe space right now. Thumbs up for that.
Yes.
So
And
that's
Dr.
something
Adams
we
for
need to
being
celebrate. Yeah,
yes.
that's up. And I would know Dr. Adams.
Yes.
So I'm so happy. Yes. So
Yes.
yeah, so I'm just saying these little things, this is how the anti-fragility is coming out.
Wow.
This is how it's coming out. There's an evolution taking place, right? And we are adopting, we are improving, we are getting stronger from this challenge. And maybe
Yes.
you would have never done this healing circle idea, it wouldn't have emerged. And
Wow.
so
Yes.
it has given you a platform to draw all these people with various narratives of encouragement, narratives of empowerment, using their skills to really empower and to help reframe the narrative and to help us to build back up our identity as a Jamaican. And so that is definitely a tangible expression of
Wow.
anti-fragility. Also, I think one of the things this has that I didn't know so many people love Jamaica. I'm sorry. I mean, the global response is
Yes.
overwhelming. I didn't know that. I mean, I knew Jamaica was well known, but I just didn't know to the extent.
We are lucky.
And seeing the outpouring, let's Jamaicans need to feel good about that. They need to
Yes.
celebrate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really feel like the pastor who died, there needs to be something symbolic from the ministers. I hope they do that. They were the plane that crashed. They were coming here.
With his daughter.
Yeah,
Oh, he
yeah. I
was a
really hope.
pastor.
Yeah, he was a pastor.
Oh, I
Well
didn't know
known in
that.
Jamaica too, because he's been doing
Yeah,
even
Oh
yeah,
this.
no, that's
yeah.
so sad.
Yeah. And I'm just saying the outpouring has just been, it tells us that Jamaica is a very loved country and that
Yes.
the world loved our people. So if we're doubting that, if we're not loving this time, I think God has shown us up front. And the outpouring has just been crazy. So that has
Mm.
been very encouraging for us. And I think another the microstrip, it's we're reframing now, not just we're looking. We need to build a focused narrative of
Yes.
a community building. I think you referred to it earlier. It's not just what we have lost, it's what is what we have learned. It's
Mm.
not just what has shaken us, but how we have discovered our strength. And we're
Right.
discovering
Yes.
our strength right now as Jamaicans.
Hmm.
And that is going to be that's going to cause a paradigm shift
Yes.
in our children, in our youths. If we were developing what I'd say a very thin skin
Hmm.
approach, that is taking a different shift because even now, as a mental health practitioner, the young people are very, very receptive more now to mental health. Jamaicans are becoming highly receptive compared to many years ago. And so people are recognizing this and they're more open and they're more receptive. And it's our time to
Yes.
really utilize these giftings and the callings and this education that God has given us. So thumbs up for starting this, thumbs up, Dr. Adams, because it is instrumental, it is shaping, and it is
Hmm.
giving us the skills and the tools that we need to build a better Jamaica and a better community as a Jamaican people. Yeah.
I agree. This is really all Dr. Gordon. I just came along for the ride.
Yeah.
Dr. Gordon. Um, I think for me, with the celebration piece, which is what I was, I think, battling even when we first started this, right?
Yeah.
Like, two things can be true at once. I said this in my house like all the time. Two things
Yes.
are true. I'm now in a space where I can see celebrating progress, like being a part of some of the post Melissa recovery experiences, donations, and things like that, and doing the healing circles where I'm celebrating progress, but I'm also still in mourning for my country.
Yes.
And so one doesn't cancel out the other. Like both of these things are true at the same time. I'm celebrating progress, but I'm still grieving.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
so I think for people who are listening, again, don't minimize or dismiss the progress that you've made, even if it's one thing. If it's the meals you got for the day or a tarpaulin or whatever it is, if it's one thing, still
Yes.
celebrate that progress. Um, be proud of yourself. We talked earlier about redeveloping our concept of self, our self-esteem, so that we can advocate and solve problems. What are you proud of yourself for? You know, you can, it's okay to
Wow.
be honest with yourself. Like,
Yes.
one thing I'm proud of is that I was able to, I don't know, connect with a neighbor. We were able to, whatever. One thing
Hmm.
that's still really hard is I am unsure of how I'm going to be getting food more consistently. I don't know what it is. Those two things are happening at the same time, and both of those things are true, and one is not more important or cancel out the other. Both of them have space. And being healing through all of this is being able to acknowledge both of those things
Yes.
and processing through them. So I think that's my biggest thing that I'm even still working through, even as someone who is not on the ground, about just, yeah, celebrate. When
Hmm.
I was with my fellow countrymen here and we were like getting all of the things together, we were smiling, we were laughing. I've said this in the last live and I've been saying it throughout. When the hurricane happened, I was withdrawn. Like I didn't, my best friends, I just did not want to talk to somebody. And I also have my own personal grief that I'm going through with losing people who are very close to me. And I was just in a space where I was just not engaging and just very, very, very sad. And my first glimmer, my first piece of joy was going to serve with fellow other Jamaicans. And of
Yes.
course, there was food and there was music and we were doing all the things. And that was the first time in a couple of weeks that I felt something,
Yes.
something. So it was like, all right. And then I started to feel guilty for smiling because I'm like, you don't have no reason to smile. People have lost everything. And there's still people who don't have roofs. And it rained after the hurricane multiple times and
Yeah.
died. And still all of this stuff. And I'm like, what are you smiling about? So even for me, still battling like the joy that I was feeling by serving and the grief that was still very, very present for me. So I say all of that to say, I know it's even realer if you are there and you had the brunt of it. And even if you didn't have the brunt of it and you're in Kingston or you had family, whichever parts of this you had to experience, just know that it is okay to celebrate your progress.
Yes.
Do not condemn yourself. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't minimize it. Celebrating progress is an important part of your healing, and you can still continue to work through your grief as you celebrate progress.
Yeah. Own the story. Own that story. Yeah.
Wow.
Own it. Yeah. As I'm hearing this, hearing you talk, Dr. Adams, and the national pledge came to me. I just see anti-fragility here, and I was going to read it.
Yeah.
Before God and all mankind, I pledge the love and the loyalty of my heart, the wisdom and the courage of my mind, the strength and vigor of my body in the service of my fellow citizens. I promise, stand up for justice, brotherhood and peace, to work diligently, creatively, to think generously, and that Jamaica may, under God, increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity, and play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. Now, if that don't encapsulate anti-fragility, I don't know what it is. And that is who we are.
Yeah.
Profound.
That's who we are.
Yes. Anti-fragility. That's the message for tonight. That's the takeaway. That's the aim. And Dr. Adams reminded us to celebrate, no matter how small the progress may seem. Celebrate regardless. Do not feel guilty when you have those moments where you have a smile on your face. You've earned it. Celebrate. It's so important. And so we are about to wrap up tonight.
I think we're just starting.
I know, it feels like
we can keep going. Like, I'm good. What y'all want to talk about?
We're just starting.
So remember that as we move forward, just make a commitment. And remember, whatever the commitment is, make it small, make it realistic, so that there's something that you can always celebrate. And, just uplift yourself. And remember our pledge, our word. That was so powerful and so appropriate and timely. Mr. Thorpe. I love it, right?
I love our pledge, our anthem, our everything. Like nowhere else in the world compared.
We need to remember their values. That's where our strengths come from,
That is so true. And so we can just go back whenever we need a word to speak into us. Remember our pledge, our national anthem, our heroes, our ancestors who have fought and are successful. And so we're here today as resilient, as proud people, like so much. And it's just so profound. So we'll get through this. We're at session 5. We're still growing together, sharing together, healing together. And so today we reclaimed piece of our identity. We named our strengths. We acknowledge our wounds and recognize our collective resilience. And let us remember that healing is not linear and it is not easy, but you just show up And that alone is evidence of strength. Just showing up is evidence of strength.
Yes,
And
it is.
so as we move forward, may we continue to learn from each other, advocate for ourselves, and believe deeply in the possibility of restoration. Jamaica has really been through it with this one,
Yeah.
category 5, and we've gone through many storms before, and each time, just like our ancestors, each time it happens, Jamaica bounce back, our countrymen bounce back, and we just rise again. So you're a part of that rising, you're a part of the hope. And I just want to say thank you for listening. If you're listening tonight, thank you for listening. And as we're about to go, just remember to walk good, walk strong, and may peace follow you into the weeks or the week ahead. That is all that we have for tonight.
All right. Yes.
This was lovely, Dr. Adams.
Awesome. Awesome
Wonderful.
conversation. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. This was great. Mr. Thorpe, you have to come back next week.
You have to come back, Mr. Thorpe.
It's gonna be important because we're nearing the holidays and grief rises a lot during that time, and with everything that's going on. And
worse without the parties happening. The government has closed on the parties. Yeah.
But I recently heard too, I think the Minister of Education was saying that all Christmas celebrations are cancelled or something like that.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen that yet.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow, in a time like this when good for people to have some celebration, and
depends on what side you're on, because I see some people saying, oh, it's only Christmas are keeping in Kingston, and I have some people saying it needs to cancel. Some people saying no, people need to come together. There's so many varying views on should people be partying right now or not.
But I think the government is trying to put the resources in the West. So I don't mind the idea. I can understand the response. But at the same time, I think we can build those inner group, those groups, like something like this.
Yes.
To give people a platform, and to build that share.
Yeah. I just think that sorry, go ahead, Dr. Adams.
I was gonna ask, so when you said that, you mean like all, even the private parties, like the typical like Yush or French?
I don't think it's a private party. I think it was more geared towards, because the government usually hosts a lot of parties and stuff.
Yeah, like the government held the school events and stuff like that. Because it was the Minister of Education that was speaking.
So
but
I'm
I think
not too sure if corporate Jamaica is going to follow.
Well, corporate always, But I feel that, at least maybe 3, strategically placed events, would be helpful. So you do something, maybe say in Westmoreland, have a tree lighting event or something where whoever wants to show up and, you have a little music.
Carry the party to the West. We are Jamaicans. Carry the party.
Right, we love the music and we like that. Right. So have one out there in Westmoreland.
Get another bus out there, they go down and, we have to go.
Right.
Yeah, carry to them.
So,
and give them the time of their lives that they will.
I agree.
We're making meaning. We're making moments now.
Yes. So, So as we go, we're going to celebrate all our wins and continue to make those small commitments. And bear in mind, the takeaway this week is anti-fragility. We are that people, and we want to definitely have that mindset and continue that work. So, Dr. Adams, Mr. Thorpe, I'll see you next week. Where we're going to join
I'm so busy.
Professor Thorpe.
It's crazy down here as a mental health practitioner now.
Next week we'll have Mrs. Tina Turner, who is a college counselor at Caribbean Maritime.
Yeah.
So she's going to join us next week.
All right. I'll be there.
All right. See you all. Yes.
Eternal Father, Father, bless our land. I pray you guide us with your mighty hand. Pray you keep us and protect us lead us into brighter days.
Remember this here one thing. After rain, sun a fi shine. We build for pressure, born for climb. We bend but we nah broke every single time. The storm come rough, me nah deny. Roof fly away, dream fly high. Whole heap of people lose them base, but faith still strong in our face. Jamaica tough, heart heavy, yes, but we spirit not dead, it just take rest. From nothing we build back step by step. We hands still strong, we soul still blessed. So when you look on the rubble, remember, we not done, we just rebuild double. Jamaica can't done, never that. We rise up.
Eternal Father, Father, bless our land. I pray you guide us with your mighty hand. Pray you keep us and protect us. Lead us into brighter days.